Bosnia and Herzegovina was devastated during 3.5 years of war. Some 150,000 people were killed or are still missing, and fighting and ethnic cleansing forced some 2 million people to flee their homes. Infrastructure and basic services were ravaged. About 90% of the country's economic base was destroyed, and GDP fell by 75%. The level and range of destruction of the country's infrastructure, but also of its social fabric, required some exceptional measures. Acting at the request of BH authorities, the World Bank launched an unprecedented effort to lead other donors in rebuilding the most important cultural treasure in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the old bridge in Mostar and several nearby historic buildings which were destroyed in the fighting.
City's management of the project, especially project coordination unit, was a model of how to resolve the problems without treating them as inter-ethnic. Project coordination unit functioned well as any office in New York or Frankfurt.
The old bridge symbolized the connections and coexistence of the various ethnic communities of Mostar. The old bridge reconstruction is very important, as is reconstruction of the old town in that context. We have capitalized that by inclusion in the list of World Cultural Heritage on July 15, 2005 in Durban, and we believe we would capitalize everything we have invested through tourism development and presentation of our history. The main goal of the reconstruction of the old bridge and the old town was to help the reconciliation of Mostar's residents. That and much more was achieved. The war-scarred and divided town got a new face and a boost for its spirit as hundreds of thousands of domestic and international visitors poured into Mostar to see the miraculous rebirth of a bridge reconstructed with the same materials and according to the same blueprint used 500 years ago.
Earlier, when it was devastated, Mostar was visited by 10,000 tourists per year. Today, however, up to 850,000 tourists visit the old bridge and the old town every year.
It's a very beautiful bridge. I've travelled extensively around the world, and this is a very, very impressive and beautiful place to come.
Since the grandiose opening in 2004, tourist numbers have never stopped rising, improving income-earning opportunities for the citizens of Mostar of all ethnic groups. Forbes magazine recently listed 5 BH microcredit organizations among the top 50 MFIs in the world. All 5 were established, developed and financed under the 2 local initiatives projects.
Over 100,000 people received microcredits, by which they started new business, renewed business interrupted by the war, and enabled better living to their families.
Partner microcredit organizations disbursed a total of nearly 400,000 loans, which helped create or maintain 250,000 jobs.
The World Bank, through microcredit organization Benefit, enabled me to get access to financing to start feed production. I try to provide financing also through banks. It is difficult and inefficient. It was much faster and easier through microcredit organization. This was the easiest way to obtain financing to start feed production.
The success of entrepreneurs like Mile is actually the success of this project. It had positive impact on businesses, household and employment. It created sustainable institutions to provide these services over the long term.
The Solid Waste Management Project was launched in 2002 through close cooperation between local governments and the World Bank. Construction of 7 regional landfills has already improved the quality of life by removing 145 illegal dumps, enhancing waste collection and strengthening sustainable waste management, all at a reduced cost.
Solid Waste Management Project is implemented in line with the strategies adopted by both Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina and Republika Srpska governments. The project has been under implementation by the World Bank financing for already 5 years. With completion of this phase of the project, 50% of both territory and population of Bosnia and Herzegovina would be covered.
In addition to correcting environmental problems and reducing health hazards, this project prepares BH to meet international environmental standards, essential in the process of EU integration. Sarajevo landfill is located at equal distance from all municipalities of Sarajevo Canton. During the previous 10 years, RAD Company, as company responsible for solid waste management, together with cantonal government and the World Bank, invested significant resources in rehabilitation of this facility. To that end, many things have been done, such as electric power generation facility, leachate treatment facility, waste recycling plant and waste disposal cells. A pristine environment is also important as the country aims to use its natural beauties to become the regional center of ecotourism. Another important activity is land recultivation in terms of planting 30,000 tree seedlings.
Solid waste programs are complex and difficult to implement as no one wants landfill in its vicinity. This project has been implemented over years with the hard work of a client in a close relationship between all levels of government. After years, the first results on ground are being seen.
Even before truce took hold under the Dayton Peace Accord in late 1995, the World Bank had its staff on the ground, assessing the damage and planning urgent reconstruction efforts. The World Bank-led post-conflict reconstruction program helped the country to restore its infrastructure, services and economy to almost pre-war levels. While many challenges remain as BH enters global markets and walks its path towards the EU, the staff of the World Bank are proud to have contributed to improving people's lives in Bosnia and Herzegovina.